Morning, everyone. Welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaka Yamada on this day, Wednesday, the 10th of March 2021, or the 27th day of January in the 9th year of Chongyulguk. We'll begin with offering a bow to our Heavenly Parent and True Parents. So, Chariot, Kyombe, Haro. And we'll recite the family pledge, both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가족멘세 3. 전위국 주인, 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 환족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 3. Our family, the owner of Chongyulguk, pledges to perfect the 4 great realms of heart, the 3 great kingships, and the realm of the royal family by centering on true love. Okay, and I'd like to ask Reverend Greg Stone if he could offer the opening prayer. Thank you.
Dearest Heavenly Parent, true parents heaven, earth, humankind, we really give thanks that we can gather each morning and to be centering our study and hearts on Mother's words. We're living in a remarkable time with True Mother. True Mother is leading us after 92 years of True Father on earth. True Mother now has led us through the first 7-year course since Father's ascension, and now we're into the second 7-year course. And what a remarkable time it is with the Holy Spirit now moving and on the foundation of incredible life of True Father. And now True Mother is taking the baton to lead us and winning great leaders all over the world. We really want to discover Mother's heart more and more and understand your providence as you're moving into this very important feminine era. So thank you so much. Please join us, and especially we in Oceania, which is the feminine region represented by the ocean, the vast ocean. And we pray we can particularly unite with our Mother and with her spirit and with her heart and with her strategies to unite Cain and Abel, to unite East and West, North and South, and play our part. Thank you. Please join us this morning and always pray in the name of Greg and Reiko Stoneless Central Family. Adieu.
Adieu. Morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. And let's welcome Reverend Yutaka Yamada to begin Hundok with us. Thank you.
Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Thank you for coming this morning, Fundoke, and also the devotion. I hope we can have a great time today also. So how is every day? Are you enjoying and inspiring your life?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Each single day is really precious moment. So centering on prayer, Johnson, and in the same time in your life, really invest, really find or seek God's will, heart, And also we have to share our blessing, share our love to our brothers and sisters, neighbors, and people, and also the nation. So we can start also. Yesterday, thank you, our Reverend Kenji, to share the message. Today, we will also continue our Tirumada's autobiography. So the day before, we talk about Kim Son-do. Do you remember this map? Yes. Centering on the Cholsan, Tirumada, and the grandmother, Cho Wonmo, went to Cholsan to join the movement of by Kim Son-do. This is the Holy Lord Church. But because Kim Son-do, Reverend Kim Son-do was arrested, and after that she was passed away earlier. So all group of people, group of church was losing the central figure. But that time, newly Reverend Ho Ho-bin received the revelation, and she started the next group. So let's see about this story. Mrs. Ho had devotedly attended Kim Son-do and was well respected by the entire Holy Lord Church. God guided her to found a new church, which came to be known as the Inside the Womb Church, and gather followers. God taught her how to purify herself and also how to raise children after the Lord comes. Just as God had prepared for Jesus before he was born in the land of Israel, Ho Ho-bin made sole preparation for the Lord of the Second Advent, who she firmly believed would be born in the land of Korea. So after Kim Son-do, Ho Ho-bin received the inspiration and liberation. They now opened the new church. So this new church name is Inside the Womb Church. So really name is very direct because Lord is coming inside of womb. That's why her church name is Inside Womb Church. So her special mission is to prepare for welcoming the second advent and second coming. So when second coming come, how to welcome, how to treat, how to attend. Because she received the liberation, now second coming is coming through woman's body with the human's body. That's why she prepared, her group prepared for the second coming. In pursuit of this mission, 1 year later, Ho Ho-bin summoned my mother. We need to make sets of clothes for the Lord of the Second Advent, so that he will not be embarrassed when he appears in front of us. You should finish making a set of clothes before the end of each day. Every day, mother sought for their life, for she was making the Lord's clothes. While doing so, she thought to herself, I will have no regret in my life if I can meet the Lord at his second advent before I die, even if only in a dream. As she saw one day, she quietly dozed off. In her dream, she saw a lost man in the room, sitting to the east of her, with a small table in front of him, a headband around his head. He had been studying, but he turned to look at her. I am studying this hard just to find you. Those words moved her to tears of gratitude and appreciation. So Mrs. Ho Ho-bin was preparing for welcoming the second advent, second coming, and also she gave the mission to Mother Taemonim, have to sew the set of clothes for the coming Jesus. So 태모님 really put her 천성 from the morning until the end. Every day prepare this cross. So during sewing the cross time, she cannot do any other things. Really put whole 천성. And what is her heart? Even I die. Just I want to meet the second advent. If I can meet second advent even in the dream, I can die. That kind of 천성, that kind of heart. If second coming come, he will wear this cross. I hope he feel comfortable, peaceful, appreciation, and happy heart. And really, she put her sincere devotion during sewing the crosses. That much put her heart and 천성. That's why when she was those, she dreamed one man. And that man talking to her, I'm studying hard for finding you. And this is our true father or second coming. That's why her devotion and her concept and her mindset, really remembering and admiring and imagining to meet the second advent. And finally she met through the dream how much she was excited and how much she was appreciated and really comforted. So those kind of spiritual phenomena was also happened that time. She awoke from the dream and realized that this man was the returned Lord. In this way, long before she could meet him in the flesh, my mother had had profound spiritual communication with Father Moon, who came as the Lord at the second advent. That dream gave her confidence to persevere through the long and precipitous path of faith that separated the dream from the reality. So when 태모님 saw the dream, she realized that this person is the second coming. So through this communication, she had more confidence and more comforted. So I don't know, among all of our brothers and sisters, somebody have a dream before meeting true parents? Many dream in that moment. Many Christian or many elder our blessed families, they had a dream before meeting Jesus, before meeting true Father. That's why when we listen their testimony, they share. They saw true Father before meeting. So even another religious group, some religious leader also testify. They saw some second coming. They saw some true men. And some religious group draw the picture who are true men. And this picture drawing is totally same face with a true Father. That's why in that moment there are many kinds of spiritual phenomena or dream or inspiration or illusion or many things happen. That much they really waited for second advent, and spiritual side also responds that because that person really prepared offer the 천성. That's why spiritual side, spiritual world also show the vision. This person is the second coming. Now second coming or second advent is living on this earth in Korea. So you can meet, you can see, and you can communicate. So those spiritual phenomena was happened that moment, and our 태모님 also communicate in the dreams. So several times she met true Father, second coming in the dream. So this is also the preparation. During that interim, my grandmother and mother were focused with earning and impatience for the Lord, the only begotten Son. They, along with the entire Christian world, were unaware of the providential plan for the advent of the only begotten daughter. Father Moon himself was the only one who understood this, as this illustrates God unfolds the providence step by step, not disclosing the providence of restoration except to those who need to understand and who have set the condition to do so. So actually this part is not in the Korean book, but maybe additional explanation in English side. So parents, father and mother, Temonim, they are waited, and also the many Christianity are waited about begotten son, grandmother also, and also the Temonim also. All people are waited about the begotten son and second advent, but they never know about the existence of begotten daughter. Only true father knew that. That's why when we see about the providential history, there is the meaning and there is also the background. And sometimes we could not understand the meaning or some kind of a secret. That's why when we see the Bible or the history of the restoration, we can find many different or difficult contents. We know about the Noah's story, right? Noah is doing something every day, going to the mountain. But Noah, he himself knew about God's plan because he himself received the liberation directly. But how about another person? Maybe Noah explained something, but another person could not recognize what is the God's liberation or God's message. How about Abraham? Abraham also received the message to kill the son, Isaac. Maybe Abraham knew that because he received directly the liberation. But how about another person, Isaac himself or Sarah? Could they understand or not? They could not understand anything. Moses' time also same, or Israelites, you have to go to Egypt. Moses maybe received the liberation, but all Israelites could not receive any liberation or any message from God. That's why just follow the Moses or central figures or Jacob's story or several story. There is many kind of providential meaning, providential background, and providential history, but God could not disclose at the moment. He showed step by step and one by one. That's why this history or this providence of begotten daughter, the things was also not disclosed in the beginning. Only true father understood and true father showed up. So if the person who have a condition or preparation, then that person could recognize and could catch and could receive the liberation. That's why in the 1920, 1945, around that age, many spiritual Christianity received the liberation. So some spiritual group even receive the secret, the contents of the divine principle. Those secret is not only just given to, not only organized by a divine principle. That time, separate person received the separate truth one by one about the secret of fruits of a Garden of Eden, secret of fall, secret of several things. Jesus time, and true Father receive overall all things, also finding, visiting, and learning, and liberation, and finally he made the all truths as one complete things. Then deal with spiritual world, deal with the holy men and also saints in the spiritual world, and finally he prepared one set of the principle and the truth. So we can learn there are many kinds of spiritual phenomena happen. So when you research the spiritual group of the history, you can find some spiritual group is talking similar things with one part of divine principle, one part of truth, because those persons really sincerely waited the second coming and really prayed for God and Jesus. That's why some part also received the revelation. Of course, because of those revelation, they thought they are the Messiah and they go to the another way. But we can see that those history. So if we offer Johnson, we can get the revelation directly from God and also spiritual world also. So let's see next place. As was expected to happen sooner or later, the World War finally came to an end with Japan's defeat. Korea enjoyed the liberation its people had long desired, but North Korea soon fell under communist rule. The communist oppression of religion knew no bounds. There are always people who betray others. Even Jesus had a treacherous disciple. The inside church was not spared. One of its members accused the group of a missing wealth, and the communist police took Ho Ho-bin and many of her followers to Taedong police station in Pyongyang. Security agents interrogated Ho Ho-bin harshly and mocked her. When is this Jesus who is inside your womb going to come out? So that moment, the communist oppression to religion, this was really severe and serious. And people is always thinking centering on own self. That's why in this Ho Ho-bin, her group, the people of her group also, someone betray and accuse Ho Ho-bin centering on own purpose and own will, like Jesus' time. So during confusion time, during chaotic time, it's difficult to distinguish what is God, what is good, and what is evil. How to establish the nation? How should we live? Those things is everything unsure and cannot see. But they try to stand for the future dream after liberation from Japan's occupation. That's why in that time also many confused and many challenging situation is happening to each person, even toward to Ho Ho-bin and toward the member of inside church. Ho Ho-bin boldly answered, "He will come out in a few days." Though white clan member of the church offered prayers every day in front of the prison gates. Even after a year, the prisoner had not been released. That was the time that Father Moon, who had been living in Seoul, journeyed to Pyongyang. It was in August of 1946 that he opened a meeting room in Kechonli district of the city and began witnessing. The police accused Father Moon of being a spy for South Korean President Syngman Lee and imprisoned him in the jail in which Ho Ho-bin and her followers were being held. So when Ho Ho-bin was arrested and in charge to the prison, in that moment, her father was also in the same prison. So her father knew that in spiritually, Ho Ho-bin was there. And this is the will of God, to meet Ho Ho-bin. So her father also tried to many effort to contact to the Ho Ho-bin. But that time, she couldn't accept that and she couldn't recognize that. Because Ho Ho-bin, maybe Ho Ho-bin received some kind of revelation. Second coming is coming through the woman's womb. Then Ho Ho-bin thought, second coming is coming from my womb. That's why she believed that. Now, second coming is coming through my body. That's why second coming is not here yet. Maybe she has this kind of concept. That's why her father tried to contact the risk of his life inside the prison. If somebody found that, and he will be more dangerous situation, but because of God's message or God's will, he tried to contact Ho-Bin, but Ho-Bin even received this kind of paper, but she didn't take care well. That's why the police found out this one. The father really faced the severe torture from the communist or from the policeman that time, and almost he was going to be die, that kind of situation. And how was Ho-Bin? Ho-Bin herself was also passed away in that place. The sad fact is that the imprisoned member of the inside the church failed to recognize that Father Moon was the returning Lord. During his imprisonment over 100 days, he contacted Ho-Bin several times, but she refused to listen to him. Father Moon was eventually thrown out on the brink of death due to severe torture. Most members of the inside church died under the same torture. Those who survived scattered when the Korean War broke out in 1950, some remaining in the north, some fleeing to the south. So this father's story, maybe you listen many times. So this is spiritual group. This Ho-Bin is the second person in the woman's side, Kim Son-do and Ho-Bin. So they are actually the important John the Baptist figure to support God's providence and to connect to the second advent. So each time there is important central figure. If the central figure could accept the Father or each place, how God's providential was changing. But each part, each time, because of their commitment or their belief, and maybe some is really pride, but some is really serious determination. That's why could not put down their feeling. If one time, if she could pray for God, how about this man? Is your will or not? Then maybe God could give the liberation. That's why if we standing the central figure's position, really each moment, how to offer the 100% absolute faith, but all challenges coming. So those kind of situation, really we have to see what is really God's will and God's plan. Otherwise, they receive the liberation and they believe that they offer 100%. But if could not meet the moment, important prepared moment with God's plan, God's will, then their life, their future, and all providence itself was going to ruin for the fading way. So this is the autobiography of True Father as a peace-loving global citizen. So just I picked up the same part of the Taedong police station part. So I will read this. The communist authorities considered religion to be a thorn in their side and were looking for excuse to suppress it. They jumped on the opportunity given to them by these ministers and took me into custody. On August 11, 1946, I was charged with coming from the south for the purpose of espionage and imprisoned in the Taedong security station. I was falsely accused of being sent to the north by South Korean President Sun Man-lee as part of an attempt to take over the north. So that year, 1946, is in August, same month, Ho-Bin was prisoned, and also True Father also at the same time and same month, 1946, August. True Father that time also was doing the witnessing in Pyongyang. That time he was 26 years old. He came from South Korea to North Korea to Pyongyang to find the God's will, and he went to the prison where Ho-Ho-Bing was there. They even brought in Soviet interrogator, but they could not establish that I had committed any crime. Finally, after 3 months, they found me not guilty and released me. But by this time, my body was in terrible shape. I had lost so much blood while being tortured that my life was in grave danger. The members of my church took me in and cared for me. They risked their lives for me without expecting anything in return. So that moment, True Father tried to find the God's will, witness, and he went to the prison. And Ho-Ho-Bing could not realize how will and God's will. So those things, if central figure, which prepared by God, could not fulfill God's will, and who have to offer, who have to pay the indemnity, because each person already standing the great position which are prepared by God, but because they fail, that's why all foundation was taken by Satan. So because of that, the central figure, True Father, True Mother, have to offer and pay the indemnity because of those person, and also providence itself became delay and delay and delay. So when we read the True Father's autobiography, also he is mentioning the same things. So you can also compare and read together. The history illustrates the fate of those who receive heaven's revelation and do not fulfill their responsibility. The sole purpose of those groups was to welcome the Lord at the second advent, and they knew this was their mission and declare it. For that purpose, this group to which my mother belonged had endured unbelievably difficult hardship, but they failed when their concept of the Lord blinded them to the reality of the Lord. So because of that, even this Ho-Ho-Bing group, the inside church, this group itself, even prepared by God, but this group also scattered and finally going to disappear or facing the difficult things. So through mother's mother, Temonim, and grandmother spend the time with this group, but because Ho-Ho-Bing and all member was facing and killed in the prison, so finally through mother's mother, Temonim, and the grandmother decided to go to the next place. So today we are seeing the all spiritual center figure. Each person was really important person, important role. If one moment, if they could fulfill their responsibility, then all problems will be changed. But because could not recognize, that's why all problems was postponed. So when we see that those history, actually not only divine principle or not only Bible story, those person is also directly living together with true parents era, and they receive a special mission, and they are standing, whether they choose this way or another way. That's why how much difficult or how much serious situation and how much important that those persons' attitude, and how about ourselves, what kind of point we are standing. Maybe many of you already passed or experienced many providential important moment. So always we have to find and seek the God's guidance, God's will, God's plan, and also we have to choose well which God prepare and God wish. So today through those historical central figure, we can understand. So today now we are connecting and we are working together with True Mother and also True Father. We will see ourselves to connect with our True Mother, and let's go forward for offering the victory, the happiness to True Mother. So today also a great day. Let's have spend a great moment, create a new day, and let's have offer the victory to our heavenly parents and true parents. So thank you very much for joining, and thank you everyone.
Thank you, Reverend Yutaka.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, and greetings. We have 46 of us connected together and listening, and I was just kept reflecting over that point that only those that need to understand are given the revelations, are given the insight, and so there's we have to recognize or have the mind opened enough. People of faith have our minds opened enough to recognize that someone who has received it, they received it, we didn't, but they received it because they have a particular purpose. And the other thing that surprised me was who have set the conditions to do so. And the whole concept at the time is the returning Lord, the only begotten Son. Everyone's focus was just on receiving the Son, receiving the return of Christ, receiving the second advent. And those people out there were making conditions, or almost nobody was making conditions to receive the only begotten daughter. It wasn't even in their head. And it makes me to think, I'm quite amazed to think, how can those people even have that concept to make a condition for? They really are special people, and I can understand why God only chooses those people. That's to really make a condition that everyone else doesn't think about. I find that really amazing, and even those people, who are preparing for the Lord and have complete revelations about the size of the Messiah's clothes and even which is like a sort of a way for warning for people who are spiritually open or have revelations, that their concept doesn't become narrow. They get so fixated on just this one particular way that they're not flexible enough to see that God has a different plan, and so many missed opportunities. So God must be very frustrated at seeing all these opportunities being missed. So I was just sort of reflecting on that. So I open it up to anyone who would like to make a comment, who would like to share. Yes, Daniel. Yamani, yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, heavenly parents and true parents, and John and Yutaka and all the brothers and sisters in Oceania. Thank you for giving this opportunity to attend this 40 days on okay. I like to make a comment about like True Mother biography, the history. Especially when I joined the church, the movement, I never heard about its history. Yeah, I hear about True Father history only, but True Mother, I never hear about him. So it's a great opportunity for me to learn much about through mother and know more about him. So through mother is like his parents is preparing her to receive a true father as a true parents for humankind. Yeah, and I want to thank you, Sister Janine, to help me to attend this honor. Yeah, so I really thankful and grateful for everyone to join you. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you. Jacinta, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just thought because demonym, actually the fruit of God's will came true in because demonym, as a follower of Ho-Bin, was able to raise up mother. So actually it was a victory for God that happened. Even though the Ho-Bin herself didn't respond to father. And I think I remember once he said, if one generation does not succeed, then there's a foundation. If you don't get angry and you keep loving, the next generation will come to the Lord. So I've just experienced that myself recently, because I've spent many years really hating the Christians for not following Father, and I wouldn't even talk to them, and I wouldn't even go in a church or anything. But just recently I sort of like, I fell back into love, with the Christians, just because I had to do cleaning jobs in a church, and I met the pastor, and I realized how much they really do love Jesus. Just, they are worthy people, and we should love them, and I just realized that, I want to make the way open for them, the next generation to come, and they will come. So just as true mother is victorious, and yeah, so I just wanted to make that point from my own experience.
Thank you, Jacinta. Yes, Mr. Wright. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. And it's a very interesting. We can hear chicken crow from Solomon Island. I can understand. Oh, this is gathering beyond the sea, and incredible. And really, I feel about for how human we are, for difficulty to realize, like a spiritual God message, and like unaware of the providential plan for the advent of begotten daughter, only true Father knew. And it is, if living that time, I think everyone, focus, returning Lord, Jesus come back. That is movement. Behind that, which understand about for the begotten daughter, I think no one. But also for Hobin's life, I think true Father sent a letter, and she read it. I don't know the content, but once I heard Father ask deny your mission at once, then go out. I don't detail, but deny her mission, it's not easy. And then at that time, it is very difficult to realize. And so to really realize, to meet Messiah is not easy. Of course, after follow is not easy, but that's why I was thinking, oh, how I can meet without so much understanding, and how we could follow such many years, the blessed, and even not so much we're doing, but it is, I feel kind of miracle, you know. We really thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Rai. I thought Na was next. You've had your hand up. Yeah. Unmute, please.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm really excited because, you know, because the Spirit World is really working closely with us. And just following on to what Jacinta was saying, you know, I see it, well, you know, what I said yesterday about working with people who speak on the public arena, by using them, praying as they're speaking for the Spirit World to speak through them. Kind of experiencing that, and yeah, it's really important, and I find those things comes on the foundation of us having unity, and then forgive and love on all levels of your connection or relationship, whether to a central figure, to family members, yeah, in our own lives. Yeah, I know that I have failed God many times. You know, I'm disappointed him many times, but still I can, I'm still here trying to follow to parents and share the vision of to parents, and yeah, it's really realizing that we can, that the Spirit World is real. We are educated. We can be educated by the Spirit World and guided by them. So our unity with, with the truth, with our true parents, and just practicing those basic principles to forgive, unite, and love will be the basis, I think, for growth and success. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, anyway, concerning our True Mother's mission and sister's mission, really were kind of one and the same. It just sort of came to me that True Father has come and laid a tremendous foundation, and Mother has been quietly supporting Father all this time. And now it's really the Mother's responsibility. As I mentioned yesterday about the woman that fights the dragon, because, and I guess the way of restoration is going that the way of the fall, it was the angels fell, and then Eve fell, and then Adam fell, and then the rest of humankind. So going back that way, Adam fulfills his responsibility, and now Eve has to fulfill her responsibility to restore Eve, which is what Mother is doing now. So that's why everything is now on Mother and also our sisters, the women's era, because that area has to be done now. Eve has to be restored, you know, and as going back that way. And then finally the angels. So that's where we have a huge LGBT community, which I believe is very much influenced by the angelic realm. So then finally after women, then that area can be tackled in a proper healing. So it's just going back. I may be wrong. It's just my own personal insight. But it really, anyway, that's where I'm coming from. And also concerning the Christian world, the other aspect is, as we understood at one time, that somehow, even by luck, we joined the church. Just we happened to be at the right age and the right era. We were young and we were chosen. And also failure came about due to some of the Christian leaders who couldn't connect with true Father, lost that whole foundation of all those followers who maybe have been very good and virtuous. And I found that also working with Christians and praying with them that actually they're so much better than I am in terms of their love for Jesus and for God. I am just a fisherman, actually, a rough guy, you know, and actually they have had very long years of faith and belief in Jesus. They are much better than me. So it's not difficult for me to love Christians and respect them, actually. And they have a lot less to go on than what we've gone on. We've received direct revelations and inspirations in divine principle, and yet still they have great faith and love for Jesus. So anyway, there's a lot to go on that one. But anyway, that's just my contribution. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff. Actually, that's the same for me. I'm born Greek Orthodox, was an altar boy, and I never felt like anything wrong with Christians. I just saw it as a step, as God does things in steps. It was just the next step. I felt Christ was leading me to Father, not. And I remember Father saying, you know, we should at least read the Bible 3 times. You know, we have to love Jesus to be able to love Father. It's great to be a Christian, and it's great to be a Mooney. So, and it's great that you're all here, and it's that time again for us to join together in our 7-minute prayer. So I'll just share the screen. Arju, Arju, Arju. Thank you, everyone. It's, and have a great day and a great week. And see you tomorrow anyway.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good
Thank you.
day.
Bye. Thank you, Janine.
Bye, Daniel.
Bye.
Yeah, bye,
Bye.
Daniel.
Begin the flow.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.